Hi, welcome to the show, guys. I'm not going to make this too long. I'm just going to make this very quick. Just looking at a few bits and bobs, and I thought I'll kind of update you and let you know exactly what I see in the charts. It's going to be something we're going to continue from what we did yesterday. So if you remember, yesterday we were talking about this particular bull flag that we were seeing, basically. So the bull flag pole and the flag itself, right, we were seeing. But what I want to do is kind of stick to this, work on this a little bit more. So we were looking at it on a weekly, and as you can see on a weekly, this is what we saw. So this is the weekly flagpole, this is the weekly data. So sticking to this, and we're using the Fibonacci's. Obviously we did some maths and we said, okay, if this was the pole, what could be the pole's new target? The new target was showing us 85. And then I said, if we just continue one more time from where the top was previously, where would it bring us? So just been kind of working on that. But what I want to do is, while you're here, I want to change a few things. So for example, we know it's there, so please take a screenshot if you want right now. If you want, I'm going to take this off because we don't need to really talk about this. It's not important. It's just an indicator showing us where the market is going. Other than that, it's actually not giving us anything else. So it's not something that we have to sit there and observe, right? It doesn't matter. It's just an indicator telling us that that's the direction we're moving, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this particular indicator here, not indicator, this pattern, because it's a lot of information on the chart. We want as low as possible, less as possible, right? So what we've done is, I'm going to leave this box. Obviously, this is our previous box, upper lower band, that we talked about from the 39 to 65. We talked about this months ago. So it's still here, slightly different color, but still here. This is our new future upper lower band, which we also have here as well, which we're going to talk about very soon. Now, what I want to show you is a few bits and bobs here, right? Very fascinating bits and bobs that not many people will actually show you. Everyone's talking about the trend lines. Well, yeah, we've got multiple trend lines here. We're not going to really work on those trend lines. I mean, if you go on a daily, you can see a lot more. For example, on a daily, you can see that, we've got this wedge. We talked about it. We had this bigger wedge. We were talking about it. We broke out the wedge. All of that information is there. So we've got two different wedges here. Both of them are descending wedge and both of them break out. So for us, it was a bullish divergence forming here. However, we still had this longer time frame here, which we've been talking about for weeks and weeks now. Some other TA have recently just started talking about this because obviously there's nothing here. So they're like, oh, damn, okay, we need to put something there because we need to talk about it. Well, on this channel, we talked about it from time back. We said this was the greater trend line, and these were all medium trend lines that we just broke above, right? So all of this data here is all good, right? We've got no issues there. Actually, what I want to do, one thing, because I know there's a lot of yellow here. Let me change this to the standard color. So standard usually is blue anyway. So I'm just going to leave it on the blue color so it's easier for you guys to see what's going on, right? So when we're talking about the red boxes, we're talking about heavy traffic zone. Heavy traffic zone literally just means a location where we might have one second. So when I talk about heavy traffic zone, all I'm talking about is a location where we might have a lot of resistance. When we're talking about yellow medium traffic zone or low traffic zone, we're talking about not much resistance, right? But what BTC did in the past few days, and you're not going to be able to see the day candles, I can show you the day candles if you want. Past few days, it's attempted to target this particular lower band of this higher resistance range, right? And if we look at the Fibonacci's, we can see that basically we're where we are right now. We're actually, right, let me just show you. We're actually slightly above the fib level, but we're holding, right? We're holding. And the fib level here is actually slightly different to the weekly, because when you look at the weekly, you can see the bottom of the range, right? And I'll show you what I mean. So this is the bottom of the weekly range. The Fibonacci is bang on the dot, right? But when you do it on the daily, it's not spot on, right? It's slightly above. And we can adjust that if we want to, but it doesn't matter. Ultimately, this pretty much stays in the same place because it doesn't, over the week, like longer time frame, it doesn't really change much. So this is where we're facing trouble. We've got this area here, this particular level here, this 40,700 or something like this. Just this particular area where we're going to be facing trouble, right? Now, this particular area actually coincides with another area that we talked about some time ago, right? Coincidentally, you see this particular area here, this is pretty similar to where we are now. I'm not going to show you this chart because it is a bit messy. However, what I did want to show you was we were doing some fibs on a smaller time frame, and you can see that we met the target. The 39,836 was the target, and we hit that target. Bang on the dot, we hit that target. So, once you meet the target, then you make a next target, right? So, and this target was from here. If you look carefully, this target was from there when we bounced here the first time. So you can see all of this data. There's a lot more. Also, this particular chart, you've seen this some time back, and we talked about it. We said this is a range. This pink line here was a range, right? We talked about it. And as you can see, we're perfectly finding some resistance around this particular range. But there's more to this chart. Remember, I still have a date. I'm the only person who has a date. I was 2 days off here. I said, expect the dump to be over on the 19th. And for us, the dump was over on the 21st. 21st was the dump. So I was 2 days off. Here I said reversal expected on the 18th. I might be 1 or 2 days off. I mean, I'm not here with the crystal ball, right? I'm not here with the crystal ball. But if I'm off by 1 or 2 days, maybe you guys could forgive me. But there's a lot more going on. So I was looking at the total market cap. Is the total market cap, and fascinating how the market cap respects these lines. This is the trend line. How, if you look carefully, every time we attempted to go close to this range and break out, we got rejected. This is the market cap. But funnily, right now we're holding at 0.65 and the 618 level. We're actually holding that. This to me is bullish. When you look at the whole global market cap doing this is very bullish. But then again, listen, we've had this particular event here where we've had a whole week of every day being bullish, like green candles. Technically it's not. We've had a lot of bearish situation in there, but bulls have managed to keep control. That's what we need to, the word I think is control, right? So we've kept control here. Now by keeping control, we know that this market has a good potential to go up where it needs to go. Right? And we're not targeting too much. We're not targeting the 2.5. For us, as long as we follow this particular range here and we can get it back up to this 1.88 currently, if we can get it up to this level, we're laughing, right? From there, we can then continue slowly, right? That's the biggest idea here. And this, I'll show you. So here, for example, this is the chart I showed you earlier on. This is on a weekly, showing slightly different data, but that's not the point. The point is this particular range box here. Now, let's bring you back into, and let's leave that. Let's bring you back into here, and I want to show you something else as well. So while I've been working on this, I said, okay, I've got all my lines and everything there, and I said, right, I need to start working more. So yesterday, what we did was we put this particular line and we duplicated it here and we duplicated it here, and this is what we got, right? But then it's a little bit more fascinating where I did a few things. So for example, look at this line and watch what I do when I activate my log curve. So when I activate my log curve, all I did was extend this particular line. And as you can see, the prediction we did from 65k. So when we go back to 65k, where are we possibly going to go to? And we put a line on 120.814. Pretty much, I mean, we haven't seen the future, but this pretty much coincides with that Fibonacci line. Just, this is where we're going to basically probably see the pump, and then we're going to have the blow off top here. So I'm quite glad that it's on this line and not this line, because this line would worry me. This is blow off top. This is not. This is market top. This is not. So this is happy. I'm happy because this kind of indicates to me that this is where I need to put a sell order. This is where I need to put a sell order, at least sell half of my crypto. Any profits I've made from all the way from here today, I need to sell half of it at least around this particular level. This is not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. You do you, I do me, right? But the point is, this is where I would actually sell half of my crypto and just sit back, wait. This could pump and go even higher. Fair play if it does. And we haven't seen this range yet. I mean, this particular range here, the upper band of this range, if you look carefully, upper band of this range is, I just want to show you, 228,000. We haven't seen those numbers yet. We don't even know what date that is going to be, right? I'm just putting a hypothetical, a number of dates and everything. But the point is we are going there, and the log chart, it's beautiful. Now, looking at the log chart, there's another beautiful thing on the log chart a lot of people aren't looking at. Where are we? Where did we get rejected? Look, I'm just going to show you this. This is insane, right? We bounced perfectly on this. We came here, right? We came here. This is a fib line. This is a greater logarithmic over a 10-11 year history, and we bounced here. When we have a situation like this, you probably read the title, a big dump incoming. Well, yeah, a big dump is absolutely possible. If this was a bull trap, then what we could see is something like this. If this was a bull trap, we could see a dump coming back into this line, right? Taking us back to this $31,000 level. That's the worst case scenario. But if we wanted to use maths and say, okay, fine, let's just not say we're going to do this. Let's be a little bit more realistic. This is hypothetical that we are going to see this dump come back down here. If we can't hold this line, we're going down. We're going lower and lower and lower. You're going to say, that's insane. You're being bullish. Sorry, you're being bearish. Yes, I'm being very bearish. If this is the situation, if this was a fake out and we then get a market manipulators coming in and dumping on us, we can come back to this line. If we can't hold this specific line, because you can see this line, let me make it bigger for you. All right, and let me put a line there just to show you. So if we put a line here and continue with this line, right, if we just continue, what you see is this line is this line. And if we come below this and we don't hold support, well, we're going down. We're going into these areas. So the question is, are they invalid? No, they're not. They're all valid all the way up to this. Good thing is as we progress up, this line moves up, means that our lower price that we are expecting is getting higher and higher. So definitely going to have a higher low, technically you can call it, because of the previous market cycles. So this band is definitely extending, which is good, right? So that's a good thing. Now let's be realistic and say, right, where is the market going to take us this particular round? If we did like in the next few days, worst case scenario, well, we can actually put a fib on it and actually say, let's let the fib decide where do we want to go. So we take the top and we take the bottom. And remember, on this chart, we're using a line chart because we want to ignore the noise. And I'll show you what I mean by the noise. So you see all of these wicks and everything, these are noise. What we've done is we've just bypassed all the noise just by using a line chart, and we said, this is what we're doing. We're just going to ignore the noise, look at the facts in the chart, nothing else. So according to this, if you look carefully, according to this, it seems that if we did get a dump, and the dump would be respecting the 0618, which is the $33,700 level. So, which is technically the bottom of this box. Right, so remember, we drew this box a few days back before all of this even happened. We drew this box before we were even coming into the zone. And as you can see, the Fibonacci's are also respecting this and saying, well, this is exactly where the dump should come and hold. Right, now, when I'm looking at this, I don't see this to be an exact location. This is a Fibonacci line, exact location, because remember, we're not looking at the wicks. And I'm sure the fibs are counting everything, right? So what we want to do, we're going to look for a range, an area, and we say, what's the area that we're going to be seeing this particular trouble? And so far, this is what I'm seeing. So even the fib itself actually has a good reason. See this particular area here, right? What we're looking at is this point here, this area here, this point here, right, this point here, and this particular area here. So these 2 points here, and we're using this as our support range, and we're saying, okay, this is the case, then we can actually come into this particular level. And I'll just put some more color into this just so you can see, right? This would be our support range, which is pretty good, 34 to 33.7, 34.9. So 30, you can call it 35. So we're looking at this particular range, this particular area where we could find support. So this would be a great buying opportunity. But even then, when it comes down, I wouldn't jump on it straight away. What I would do, I would wait for it to go back above at least this particular level here. This particular level here is a key zone, because remember, this is the top of the previous range. So if we get a confirmation here, then we can continue, right? Because, and this is important you understand this, because if we come here and we can't hold this, then we're going down. And then if we did get a confirmation, we'd have a confirmation here saying it's going down. Then this will bring us back down here. You see what I mean? So we need to understand the pattern, and we need to follow this and say, right, okay, this is the pattern. If we did do what we want to do, what are we going to do? So in the current situation, we're coming into the weekend. So that's why I'm a bit worried. We're coming into the weekend. But you know what? If we can hold this line here, And this is another log line. As you can see, this is another log line. If we can hold this particular log chart here, right, and just put a, let me just put something there just to kind of show you what I mean. If we can hold this specific level here, right, just hold onto it, nothing else, confirm a candle above this on a daily, then we should see, this is the line, we should see us trying to break this, right? Because it's very important, because where we are right now, sorry, the chart's getting very messy. Let me switch some of the stuffs off for you. But I just hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So as long as we can stick to this line will move up, and eventually this line will come back to, and I'll switch this off just this time, will come back to the point where we can actually break out of these lines. Now, the reason we have this situation, remember, this greater trend line, so we're creeping up there, which is good, right? We're creeping up there, but we need to break above these resistance levels. This one has been easy so far. So far, where we are has actually been very easy, I'll be honest with you. And we charted this and we talked about this. We said the yellow boxes are weak, the reds are strong. And as you can see, every time we've attempted this, right, we just got rejected. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to activate the the bars, so you can see, look, we attempted this 4 days ago, got rejected. Then we attempted again, rejected, attempted again, rejected, attempted again. So this is what's happening. So this is a very strong level, right? So we need to break above this. And as soon as we break above this, we're not far off from our greater trend line. And we need to break above the greater trend line. Then we're gonna have some more resistance here until 50. After 50, this is probably pretty much reverses the whole market. This kind of reverses the whole market. So this is why I just left this chart. I thought, okay, let me work on this specific chart rather than working on my other chart. So yeah, sorry guys, it is a bit messy right now. So, but yeah, I mean, look, if you are going to expect a dump, then the dump we can expect is, as I said, this fib level, which is the 34,900 to 33,700 level. That would be where we would expect it. So let me get rid of this fib, because the more I can take off, the better it looks. So this is what we could expect on that particular level. And obviously these are the what do you call this, the log curves. So I had the log curves here, it just extended, but they're not what I'm focusing on. I'm focusing on this particular log chart here, this particular line here, which I was really happy with, really happy with. Just seeing it, being there, and I obviously drew this, extended it, and kind of confirming where we are and where we want to be, right? So the future, confirming that was really good. Also looking at it at zooming in and seeing that it's actually hitting that particular level and being rejected here wasn't a bad thing. It was actually a good thing. It was like, okay, so we are trying to break this particular area. We are trying to smash through this, and once we smash through this, then we're going to test this level, right? But if we fail on Sunday, so when we're looking at stuff like this, we've got to look at it this way. If we fail on Sunday, right? So this is on a weekly. If we fail on Sunday, then we're coming down again. If we don't fail, and if we manage to peak above and confirm a candle body above, we're laughing, we're off to the races, bringing us back to here. So I hope you kind of understand what I'm trying to say here. And this is like really funny when we, so when we look at the log chart, right, we're looking the actual log curves and everything, we can see exactly where each of our resistance points are, and they kind of agree, right? They kind of coincide with our fib lines. So you can see these horizontal fib lines and these diagonal fib lines kind of all confirm together what's going on, even on different time frames. And on top of that, the boxes as well. So remember, all you have to go by is the boxes. And you can actually see that each fib line here on this log chart will be a resistance for us. Like for example, we have a resistance here. This is a fib line. We have a resistance here. We're going to have a massive resistance here. And you can see that fib line also confirms that. All right, we're going to have a massive resistance here, and the fib line also confirms that. So we're looking at all of these things. Now for us, I mean, obviously, I wrote something. Where was it? I'm sure I wrote something somewhere. Let me see if I can find my other chart. That will explain to you. what I wrote. Yes, so I put this: bull market continues, official bear market. Very simple, right? In fact, I'm going to take this one off because these are other stuff that I've been working on, guys. So I always use maths to figure out where I am. I'll just leave this particular one here. I'll take it off soon. But the point is, you know, we've got arrows, we've got everything. This is the bull market continues, and this kind of comes back to this particular area where if we come into this green zone here, as you see this green zone, so if we move up this particular green line here, this is the logarithmic central point, this is the 1618 level. If we go above this, then we're only moving back up again, right? So this is what this was explaining, nothing more, you know. So I hope this kind of helps you understand where we are and where we are, what we are going to be doing soon. You know, sorry the chart is messy, but you know what, sometimes you need the mess because that's how you see exactly where the confirmations are. You know, I do try and show it with the line charts a little bit more because then, I mean, the wicks are just a story. Remember, they're just a story. The body's here, right? This is the fact. So when we're looking at the fact, we can see something completely different. You know, and this is what I saw, and it's just fascinating. I was like, okay, so this is where we are. This is what we're doing right now. All right, this is where we're struggling, right? This is the body, what counts. The wick doesn't count. Wick can go all the way to 500k, it doesn't matter. If it doesn't secure that position, we're in trouble. So this is what I'm looking at, and I'm telling you this, or looking at all of this. Also, actually, I want to show you something else as well. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles. We're on the 9th day. We had 8 positive candles. A lot of people are talking about how in history it's been shown 4 or 5 times. It's true, it has been shown 4 or 5 times. But I don't know if anyone's talking about that every time it showed up. This kind of 7, 8 candles, right? 8 candles actually. Every time it showed up was actually just before the blow off top. Just before the blow off top, like, you know, or like just before a bull run. It's a signal that tells you the bull run's in. This is it. This is a bull run. This is where it was. So all of this, you can ignore all of this. It's just bull run, right? For example, the last time we had one was, I believe, if I'm correct, it's going to be hard to look for it. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's a 7-day one. Looking for one. Let me see. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here you go. So we had one here. We had 8 days here, right? And you know, prior to that we had, so this 8 days confirmed that we're about to shoot up, and then now we have the same thing forming here, which is indicating we're about to shoot up, right? But expect the dump after a pump, and expect a pump after the dump. So you know, as I always say, right? So for us, if we're looking at this, all right, it's very simple. We can use this and we can say, right, this is what's going on. Where is our dump going to go? And normally it will respect the 618. If it's strong support, it will. And here it looks like a good zone. If you look at the candle bodies and wicks and everything, you can see it looks like a good zone. So I think we are definitely going to find support here. Worst case scenario, we're looking at this level here, the 786 level, 31795. That would be the worst case scenario. Let's see, you know, but I think it might just be temporary. I think the bigger dump that I'm expecting is around here. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. Sorry guys. The bigger dump I'm expecting is actually around here. This particular level here. This area here. I'm actually expecting a bigger dump here because of this level here. So I'm thinking that we might actually do something where we might one day just come and go boom all the way up here and then have a massive dump that brings us back down. I'm thinking at least 5 to 10k dump, you know, in a single day. That would be kind of harsh, but that's pretty much what's going to happen. Even this one, if you look carefully, that's a 5k dump, right? 5, 6, 7k dump, right? So it is a significant dump. If you do the math, it's about 10% of where we are, 10, 11% or 8% of where we are right now. So just expect it, because we are seeing a lot of trouble, as you can see right now. It's not going to be easy. And if you look carefully on this particular previous one, right, so I'm just going to end the stream soon, but I just want to show you this. If you look on the previous one where we had the, where was it? I think it's this one. Yeah, this one here. If you look carefully, sorry guys. If you look carefully where we had the previous pump, this particular location, let me put a box around it actually, so I don't have to keep on looking for it. So this particular location here, what you can see is that just after that we had a little bit of a dip, a little bit of a sideways actions. So this is where nobody could guess what was going on. Anybody with weak hands usually left. Anybody with strong hands just held on because they don't know what's going on, and then they benefited, right? And the same thing's going to happen. And then after that, as you can see, like benefited. So we kept on pumping. We had a little bit of a side, pumped, and then dump, right? And if you look at the dump, you can do the maths here and see how big the dump was. Let's use this and let's see how big the dump was. So the dump was a 31% dump, right? So this is what I'm feeling we're going to be playing out here, where we're going to go up, right? We're going to go sideways 1 or 2 days. If we did a dump now, that would be great, by the way. If we had a dump to 38k or even to this range 37k, it's great. That's actually healthy, very healthy for us. Means we're going to make more money. But if we didn't, and we just move sideways for a bit and then finally break out of here and then finally go shoot like this, well guys, you can expect a 30% dump. Put it this way, if we go here without respecting these kind of patterns, for example, without doing this, confirming and doing this kind of a pattern where we confirm these levels and step up, well, expect a dump, a 30% dump. You know what I mean? So we can take one of two. I know it sounds really bad, but we can take one of two. You can either take the big pump and take a 30% dump, or take a smaller dump here right now, take a smaller 7-8% dump here, and then continue up. So I hope this was informative. Other than that, guys, like, share, subscribe, because I'm trying to make as many content as possible, obviously, but more importantly, I think it's not about the content. So you might actually see me kind of slowing down a little bit because I am kind of busy with work and life and all sorts of other stuff. But the what was I going to say? If I see something on the chart, I'll throw it out. If it means 5 times a day, I'll do it 5 times a day. But sometimes you might not find me there. I am trying to build the channel. When I build the channel, when I have at least a consistent level of views on the channel, likes and shares and subscribes, not subscribe, but likes and shares. Likes are very important to get the video out there. So when I eventually have those, I will go ahead and do these on a fixed timetable. So if it's on a 6 p.m, then it will always be on a 6 p.m. More like a real show. Right now it's really difficult because I don't know how the channel works, but one day I might have 200 views on a video, and another day I might have 10 views on a video. So I've got a feeling even my viewers are not that keen. I don't know, maybe they're watching something else. Maybe they just don't want to. I'm not entertaining enough. But I'm not here for the entertainment, guys. Maybe in the future I'll get some clowns on the show, but rather, right now it's just about facts. What you see, everything you see here is just facts. It's not my facts. I'm not giving it to you. This is what the chart is giving to you. So you can respect the chart, right? And I'm just a news bringer to you. That's all it is. So other than that, like, share, subscribe, and I'm going to catch you on another one very soon. So adios, mi amigos.